Hi, I'm Dr. Stephanie Sarkis. I'm an author and psychotherapist based in Balk, Florida, and this video is for Attitude, which is a resource for children and adults with ADHD. This video is about having too many choices when you have ADHD and feeling overwhelmed, and this video is for AttitudeMag.com, and my website is StephanieSarkis.com. When you have ADHD, you may feel really overwhelmed when you go to the store or you're given a variety of choices. It may feel like you just really can't decide which thing or activity you want to choose, and that can be really overwhelming. I think when you have ADHD, we tend to have a higher level of sensitivity to things anyway, as far as like, for instance, like in some stores they have this beeping noise at some home improvement stores, and I won't name names, but I know that really gets to me after a while, because I think that we are already close to sensory overload, so I think little things like that can bother us. Same thing when you have a lot of choices. So when you go to the grocery store and you see that instead of 3 varieties of cereal, there are 50, you can just kind of stand in front of the cereal, with your mouth hanging open, deciding, like, I don't know which one to pick. And so you could stand in front of the cereal for a really long time. And then at the end of shopping, you may just feel worn out. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I tend to avoid shopping. And what I found that helps me deal with that kind of overload and too many choices is that when I go to a store, I pick just a set amount of time that I'm going to be there. Usually about 20 minutes to 25 minutes is my maximum. I go with a list, and it really helps to also go with someone else. And at some point when a store has had repetitive noise, I've actually told the person I'm with, hey, I need to go take a break and walk outside for a while. So that kind of those kind of choices, there are ways of dealing with that. And actually I talk about this in my books too, about how to deal with that kind of overload, especially when shopping. Also, in your family, if your spouse or partner says, hey, what do you want to do today? And they kind of leave it open-ended, you may just feel like you don't know what to say, that you have all these choices and all these things you want to do, so you can't pick one. Something you might want to say to your spouse or partner is, hey, I feel really overwhelmed with the choices, and give me 2 or 3 things that I can pick from, and I'll tell you which one I want to do. And that can really cut down on this kind of feeling of overwhelm and having to make decisions. And I think it's also important to remember that even if you have had difficulties with ADHD in the past, any decision that you make is going to be okay. Because I think sometimes the difficulty with making decisions that we're not sure if we're going to make the right one. And again, it is always going to turn out okay. So I think it's just really important to be aware that decisions can make you feel overwhelmed, and kind of protect yourself, and kind of practice preventative care so that you don't get to the point where you get burned out from decisions. So I'm Dr. Stephanie Sarkis. I'm an author and psychotherapist based in Boca Raton, Florida. This is a video for Attitude, which is a resource for children and adults with ADHD. And this video is for AttitudeMag.com, and my website is StephanieSarkis.com.